back to my channel. So today's video is going to be another foundation review, demo, and wear test over a brand new foundation to the drugstore. This is the new Essence Fresh and Fit Awake makeup. So I'm pretty sure this is Essence's first liquid foundation. I'm not even sure if they even have another foundation. This might be their first. So I do have oily, dry combination skin right now. So without further ado, if you want to see how this new foundation applies and wears throughout the day, then please keep watching. Alrighty, so it is time to try a new foundation. And once again, it's one of those days where I'm getting ready to go to work and I have to make this snappy because we gotta go. So once again, this is the Essence Fresh and Fit Awake makeup. This is $6.99 on the Ulta website, and I'm pretty sure Ulta is the only place you can find Essence. So it says it gives a healthy glowing complexion, wake up your skin with light reflecting pigments, medium coverage foundation is enriched with a vitamin complex and cranberry water. So I picked the shade 20 Fresh Nude, and this is the second to the lightest shade. Now they have 4 shades to choose from. Bravo, Essence. I will say I've tried this maybe 2 or 3 times, but I haven't really made up my mind about it. So today is a deciding factor. So right now it is 9:17 in the morning, so we are going to be wearing this for a very long time, at least 10 or 12 hours. So it does have a pump, which I am impressed with, and it comes in 1.01 fluid ounces of the product, which is a little bit more than the standard 1 ounce. So here's what I got going on today. I don't really have any active breakouts or anything, just kind of some red spots, recovering blemishes, the norm. So I've already moisturized and primed, and I actually did a face mask, like a sheet mask this morning, just to kind of revitalize my skin. And oh my gosh, sheet masks are so fun. So we're gonna go ahead and start on this side. And normally I do look for a full coverage, so we're gonna see if it meets my standards. So every other time that I've worn this, it's been about a light to medium coverage, like a low medium coverage, but I haven't really played a whole lot with it, like in trying to build it up and stuff. So you know we're gonna do it today. So here's what one layer looks like. As you can see, it's not full coverage. I would say this is a very, very low medium coverage. I'm gonna try to build it up once it dries, but you can still see my spots back here. So that was about 2 pumps on that side of my face. So we're gonna see if I use less product over here. I'm just gonna swap this on first. And I do like this shade. It's not too warm, it's not too cool. And it's got like a nice, like soft yellow undertone. I do have like a fair light golden olive complexion, so it's really hard to find a good match for me for some reason. But I will say it's blending out with the brush a lot faster. Baby hairs, get up there. Grow up already. Okay, so there's one layer on the brush side. It's about the same coverage. There's not a real big difference. So I'm gonna go back into this side now that's dried a little bit and try to build it up. But I always like to try to build up the foundations because I wanna see if you can build it up to get better coverage, and also if you build it up, does it get cakey, does it get thick looking? And it's just kind of a test, so don't judge me. So it's not really building up a whole lot. I mean, the coverage is just slightly better, so I feel like it's gonna be one of those foundations that you can't really build. Like, not that it's gonna get cakey or anything. I don't think it's gonna get cakey because it seems very thin, but it just seems like the coverage is just gonna stop at like a medium. Okay, so there's 2 layers on this side, so you can kind of tell a difference. It did boost it a little bit, so I'm gonna go back to this side, and you know the drill. Okay, it's not bad with the brush. It definitely doesn't look streaky or anything, but I'm just digging the sponge a little bit better. I'm just a sponge girl, so I'm gonna go back into my sponge and finish this side up. I'm gonna do a little trick where you rub it on and then just let it set and kind of let the pigment absorb. So I just applied it where I need more coverage. I'm just barely tapping out the edges. I'm not really trying to disrupt the pigmentation, and that did give me pretty good coverage. I would still say it's a medium coverage, but I'll take it. It doesn't look bad for a medium coverage though. Like, I do look for a full coverage, but this isn't so like sheer that I can't handle it. Right now it is 9:26, so we're gonna say 9:30 for our check-in time. So here are 2 to 3 layers of the foundation, and I gotta say it definitely doesn't get cakey. It's still like, it stays looking pretty thin and pretty lightweight. Okay, so here's what it looks like so far. Hopefully you can see, but my pores look very like filled in, like they look very minimized. It just has a really, really pretty finish. It is sitting really nicely on my skin, and I do wish I could have gotten better coverage back here, but I mean, what can you do? Right now, it hasn't set, obviously, like it's not dried down yet, but it seems like it's gonna be like a dewy satin finish, but it doesn't look too dewy. It looks very fresh and very radiant. Okay, so I'm back with the finished look. Here's what the foundation looks like. It looks pretty good. And I even went back in, because I just don't know when to stop. I went back in and tried to build it up a little bit more in these little areas right here after it kind of set for a little while, like for a few minutes. and it actually built up, and this is almost a full coverage. Like, to be a more medium coverage foundation, this is the fullest medium coverage that you can get. So I find that if you want to build up the coverage, instead of going in when the foundation is still wet and trying to layer it, wait until the first layer dries, or the second layer, third, fourth, fifth, and then try to build it up. So right now, as far as the finish goes, it's a very like natural satin finish with a little bit of dew. I have a feeling though, if you have really oily skin, this will probably start breaking down throughout the day and, you know, start getting shiny and stuff. You may have to blot. And I always forget to mention this. I probably need to mention that I don't do any touch-ups throughout the day. So whenever I come back for my final check-ins, I never have touched up. I don't powder, I don't blot, I don't do anything. Right now, I'm very, very happy with it. So we shall see how it holds up throughout the day. So I'm gonna go about my day. I'm probably gonna be late for work, and I will see you at the very end of the night. So it is time to do our final check-in of this very, very long day. It is now 8:52 at night, and you know what? I'm gonna do myself a solid. I'm gonna round up to 9 o'clock. We've had this on for 11 and a half hours, going on 12 hours. By the time I get done with this last part of the video, it'll probably be 9:30. So you know what? We're gonna say 12 hours because I deserve it. So when I first applied this, and for the first like 4 to 6 hours, it was holding up the really, really pretty glowy satin radiant finish. But then it kind of started mattifying a little bit, which is really weird. That could be because of the powder that I used, or maybe it was just over time mattifying itself. I'm not really sure, but I feel like that would be a positive for a lot of people. But within the past couple of hours, we're getting a little shine, so it's kind of starting to rehydrate itself. My oils are kind of starting to peek through. But to have had this on for 12 hours, I mean, this small amount of shine I can deal with. And I will say the foundation stayed very lightweight, and it felt very like natural and very thin on my skin all day long up until about 5 or 6 o'clock, so around the 8 or 9 hour mark. And then it started feeling a little bit more heavy and a little bit thicker on my skin. It doesn't look thick or heavy on my skin, but it feels like right now it feels kind of masky, like definitely not the worst that I've ever tried. And everything on top of the foundation, my cheek products, held up very, very well. I mean, it's not super vibrant. I mean, I can still see my highlighter and stuff, but my bronzer and my blush, they're there, but they're very faded. But when I look up close, I only see a few issues. Like, it's not horrible. I do see a little bit of cakeage. I like how I'm making up my own words. Flakage, cakeage, you know what? I like it. So I see a little cakeage right through here under my eyes. And I forgot to mention to you guys, I also put on the Essence Brighten Up banana powder. This is also brand new. And I've been testing this out a few different times. It's just a yellow banana powder, but it has like a white base. This reminds me a lot of the NYX HD finishing powder in the shade Banana, which I absolutely love. But I'm just not a big fan of this. I like the NYX one a lot better. I feel like that could have been a culprit in that as well. There's a little bit of cakeage right here in my T-zone. Okay, basically just in my T-zone. And I will say I had a couple of bumps up here, like these little red spots right here. Every time I would, like, I do this all throughout the day, like I push my bangs back, and every time I do that, I would wipe my fingers over it and just remove the product. So it's definitely not transfer resistant. But I will say I started noticing some sinking into fine lines around the 4 or 5 hour mark. I started seeing that they were kind of settling into fine lines right through here. But normally I get a lot of settling into the fine lines right here in between my eyebrows, my little 11 marks. And it looks like it's about to start settling, but it's not. Like, it still looks relatively smooth, but you can tell it's about to start happening. And the same goes with my fine lines on my forehead right here. Not happening, but it's about to. There's no settling into my pores. But overall, I'm pretty impressed with this foundation. This is not something I would want to wear if I need to have a foundation on for 12, 14, 15 hours. I probably wouldn't want to wear it any longer than like 8. Thank you so much for watching. Before you go, time out, hold on. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. I have a little button right there. Just click that little red thing and it automatically subscribes you. It's super easy, real magical and all. And also give this video a thumbs up to let me know that you enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next one. Mwah.